do you love the most?
The door. No, I do. I must say, Comic-Con's. This is my 4th time here now, and the very first time I came here, I was kind of dreading it, because people had told me like, it's crazy, it's mad. But each subsequent year I've came, I've kind of grown to love it more and more. I think all the people in the streets and the costumes, everybody's smiling. There's like, was it 200,000-300,000 people here, and there's not one spark of aggression from anyone. It's just like it's a lovely thing, and people coming all the way, halfway across the world to dress up in a costume and say hello to you. You got to love that.
How amazed are you when you see fans dressed up as you?
That's bizarre. That is the most bizarre thing of all. There was one in the panel there just now. The guy really looked as good as the stuff that I put on. He was amazing.
Do you have any creepy, strange things?
No. I don't kind of. I think you can put yourself into that situation. You know what I mean? Just move quickly. Sometimes moving target. You're okay. Yeah.
Okay, so talk about Neverland and what you've shot so far. What can you tell us?
I'm halfway through the first episode, so very little. I guess the thing I can tell you is that at the end of episode 22, season 2, they seem to be together in some kind of way. Well, that lasts about 2 minutes. And season 3, that's over very, very quickly. Because in typical Gold fashion, you have to listen very carefully to what he says. Even though at the end of season 2 he's saying, we're going to go and do this together, I'm the man to do this. Was he actually saying that, No, he wasn't. He never ever says what you think he's saying. Because this is a one-way kind of mission for him now. His son's dead, he believes. And the only way that he can in any way honour the memory of his son is to find his son. So even though that by doing that is going to be his undoing, which the seer has told him hundreds of years before. So in a sense, Rumpelstiltskin's in a very, very difficult place at the beginning of season 3. This is a suicide mission for him in his mind. And it might well be. That's a good question. I think that Belle is his moral centre, and the further he gets away from her, the more dangerous he can become, and he kind of needs that person just to kind of ground him, But again, what I can tell you without giving too much away is that Belle and the Rumpelstiltskin will meet again in Neverland, but not in the way that you imagine, in typical Once Upon a Time style. Is it ever? Is it ever? These boys, these writers.
So what else can you give us do you know anything art-wise for where we know that Tamara and Greg took Henry and brought him to Neverland?
Yeah.
What about Henry's welfare?
To be honest with you, I genuinely don't know. We've got two. I've got 2 scripts. That's it at the moment, and I can only kind of go on that. Again, without giving anything away, Peter Pan comes into season 3, and that's a massive character.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be interesting for the audience. Similarly with Rumpelstiltskin, when you go back to his backstory, you find out where he came from, how he became Rumpelstiltskin. Well, maybe we'll find out who Peter Pan actually is. We just know him as the leader of these lost boys in this land where you never grow old. Has he always been there? Where did he come from? So that's very interesting, I think. Why does he want Henry? Exactly. Is Hook safe with gold on the ship with him? That's what I would say. Hook's not safe, I can tell you that. Well, again, they seem to be together, but it's not giving much away to say that it doesn't last. It doesn't last at all. It lasts a matter of minutes, in fact. It's over.
Where are they going to go? They're on a boat.
No, they get to Neverland.
Oh, okay.
So they go. As I said there earlier on, he's very much in his own kind of mission now. Gold to Rumpel. He's He doesn't care about the rest of them. He doesn't care whether they'll ever die. Any of them. The only thing he cares about is the boy. To save him, that's his thing.
I always like to ask actors when and where you usually watch your episodes. And the second part of the question is, how interested are you in the Wonderland spin-off, and do you plan on watching the episodes on a regular basis?
I'll certainly watch Wonderland, of course. You know, it's the same team that's created it, so I'm really looking forward to seeing it in actual fact. And I know Michael Soka, I worked with many years ago on a film, and he's from a very small town in Derbyshire in England. So I was really pleased for him that he got the part. Fantastic. He's a terrific young actor, so I'm looking forward to see his progress through Wonderland. But in terms of your first part of the question, I watched it on TV on a Sunday like everywhere else.
Really? You don't get advanced episodes or anything?
Nah, I don't like doing that. I like to sit and watch it. I watch it with the family.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, watch it together. Well, I'm kind of more of a kind of Discovery Channel type of person, to be honest with you, and I'm more into kind of documentaries and stuff. My favourite show is probably Pawn Stars. I love it. I love wee things, wee bits of what you can get from them, and I love it. So most days of the week I'll be watching one of them. And then if I'm not watching that, I love there's a station we have up in Vancouver called KDOS. It's kind of classic shows, you know, and I like watching Columbo and stuff like that. So Kojak, love it. That's my style. Yeah, oh, you should. It's great. It's strange that because I think the station's out of Bellingham in Washington, but it shows in Canada. I don't know why it doesn't show down there. I don't understand that.
You talk about, I mean, actors say they love to get backstory and they love to find out about their characters, but is it complicated for you to keep track of when you have so many storylines, and it goes back hundreds of years? And
Yeah.
there's lots, I mean, do you ever sit down and go, I cannot keep track?
It is, no, you're right. It is complicated. I think particularly for myself in the show, because I don't just play two parts. I play maybe 5 or 6. You know, because there's a couple of different golds for sure, but there's at least 4 or 5 Rumpelstiltskins there. The early one, the guy who just about to become the Dark One, the guy who's just become the Dark One, the guy who's in the midst of like enjoying being the Dark One, and then later on, maybe hundreds of years later, where he's more fun. You know, he enjoys it, you know, and then the one that meets Belle is a different guy entirely as well. So there's a lot of different types of Rumpel in there. It's fun to play, that's what keeps me here.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay.